We're talking about the effect of Jiu Jitsu, right? How you're trying to capture stories. You should listen to his story. I mean, if you want to talk about the impact of Jiu Jitsu, he's the poster boy for it.
Tell me.
So like, what about it?
Just the fact that you're here, bro, just the fact that we are sitting here together is...
Oh yeah, you've come here to do this full time.
Flip this entire thing to come here and do this full time.
Damn.
So like, ask me something,
So you've made this is a pretty big commitment you've made towards Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
What compelled you to make such a big commitment? Like clearly you think this is going to have a very good impact on you, right?
Yeah, it definitely is having. So I was having a identity crisis after doing 8 years of professional badminton. So I called him up and I had a very bad injury as well, knee injury. So I was out from badminton for I think 2 months. So I called him up and had a conversation, and he told me that it's very okay to feel this at this point of time, and you come to Mumbai, we'll do something, like we'll train, we'll figure it out, and we'll talk about it, and maybe you can try Jiu Jitsu, which I was hoping to try for a long time. And I tried it. First class was good, second class was good. By the third class, I felt something which I had never felt previously. And maybe that was my calling to do Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, what exactly happened third class? Right?
I don't know what happened, but...
It wasn't the third class.
It wasn't about the class itself.
Yeah.
No, but I remember there was this class where we exited the class and we usually hang out in front of the class for a bit afterwards, right? So I remember Yash coming out and just telling me, I'm coming here to do this. I'm going to shift here soon. Give me 3 weeks, I'll be back. And like he was like convinced. I feel like that was a moment for you, right? Where you
Yeah.
What did you feel during that class that, I want to do this again and again for a really long time?
It's not really that class, I'll say it again. When I started doing badminton, when I started playing it professionally, before that I was a very fanatic or hobbyist kind of martial artist. Like I used to practice a few kicks, I used to practice Tai Chi, and I wanted to feel the thing about sparring with people. And I remember it was the third or fourth class when I sparred against him, and that was very hard for me. Like I'm a very conditioned athlete. I've been a very fit athlete in my group, and people say like, dude, you're the fittest among us. But when I sparred against him, it was a 5-minute round, I think, 5-minute live sparring, and I was gassed out within 3 minutes or 2 minutes. But I still went. I was like, yeah, I have to fight against him, because of course he's conditioned as compared to me. And something came out, like natural instinct or something. Like, yeah, dude, this is nice. After the round, something like I felt it.
Like post-roll clarity. It's very real.
Yeah.
It's very real.
And after the class, I was thinking about it. We were just chilling out, and it was like, bhai, yahi karna hai ab to. Aisa.
So, something about this addressed your identity crisis.
Okay, so you want me to discuss about it?
Yeah. Like I want you to tell me how the two connected and how it helped you.
Okay. So I'll break this thing. So just when I was in that phase of having a identity crisis, right after that I had a very bad breakup as well.
Oh.
So
That does it.
that
That
does have a very significant impact on it. Okay.
That will make a man change cities.
Yeah.
I think you should join Jiu Jitsu.
So, and I was already, I must say I was down, like in all the aspects of my life. Let it be this thing, like my career, which is badminton. My physical confidence went down because I wasn't able to train as much because of this knee, and of course this breakup thing. So I was like, since I started playing, I'll say this was the rock bottom. Yeah. So Jiu Jitsu helped me climb out of it. Yeah. I can briefly. This is it. Jiu Jitsu helped me climb out of it and made me realize that I'm still that fighter or that person who can't give up. When you're going against someone and that person is trying to basically kill you, you can't give in.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it.
This was a very fast transition into like being immersed into the world of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Most people have a much longer like curve than this, growth curve than this, but within I don't know, like a month or something.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Yeah.
Very
profound impact.
Yeah. So the other issue was letting badminton go.
That's a big one.
That's a big one because all of my relatives, all of my friends know me as the person who was very much into badminton. Like I had sacrificed a lot for it, my time, my efforts, and many things. So they were like a few. At that point of time, I didn't disclose it to many friends of mine because I was skeptic about it whether I'm going to do it full time or not. Even though I had made that decision in my mind, I didn't disclose it to them. So, but a few of them, when I disclosed it, they were like, "Okay, this is cool, but do you really want to let 8 years of progression into the badminton field? Let it go? Do you want to let it go?" I was like, "This. I think this is the right time to take the risk. I'm okay with failing." Neither does badminton practice me becoming a champion. Neither does badminton promise me to become a champion, and this as well, Jiu-Jitsu as well. I'm a beginner. So probability of failing in both of the fields is same. And why fear it? Why fear failing? So
what is failure? What is your definition of failure in this context?
Not in this particular context, but in life as well, failure is like losing the hope to progress further. For me, it's that. So many people, how do many people encounter failure is that they keep doing the thing which they want to do the most, and after turn downs and various defeats, they just lose the hope of progressing further. They feel like even if I progress further, it won't make any difference. So that's failure for me, and it hasn't struck me yet. But yeah, that's the definition of failure for me.
So it hasn't struck you yet. Is there a message you would like to give yourself for when there comes a moment when you're starting to feel a little hopeless? Or would you like to tell yourself?
Persist.
Persist.
Yeah, persist. That's all. There is light in the end of the tunnel if you're looking for it. If you're hopeless about it, then no one can help you. You must be persistent enough that you have made it till now. Then you can make it after this as well. But you must be the first person to pick yourself up. No one else can do it for you. That's the thing.
So this message has become more vivid after starting Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
In Carl's interview, he was talking about how when you make a mistake, you just do the drill again.
Yeah.
And because of that, if you aren't falling, it means you aren't doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, and I think this can be the highlight for this whole thing, is that Jiu-Jitsu convinced me to be uncomfortable again. You have to be uncomfortable. You can't, because in badminton, like, you can spar against people and you can lose. It doesn't hurt as much. But here you lose, you are getting choked. You are getting submitted. And you should be okay. You should be okay with that. You cannot be not okay with that. You should be okay with that. Yeah, you're going into the class with a mindset of, yeah, even if I'm sparring against a heavier person or a more experienced person, I'm going to get choked and I'm not going to, dislike this sport or dislike being myself doing this sport. Yeah. Because it's very inevitable. You're going to encounter this in your path. So yeah, right now I'm not living a very comfortable life. I switched my sport, I came here, I'm living in a PG, I'm cooking my own food. All of this experience is not comfortable for me, but I'm okay with it. And I'm getting 2-3 hours of sleep every night. So yeah, because of various disturbances, and sleep is like a very significant part for athletes.
Just the fact that you're not using your jiu-jitsu on your PG roommates is a testament to...
Various times I get the urge to just choke them out like, yeah, dude, just shut the fuck up and let me sleep.
Let the king sleep.
But it's okay.
Like, in the morning.
Yeah. Like Carl says, making excuses is like negativity seeping into your subconscious.
Yeah.
Whenever you make an excuse, you're convincing yourself to accept that excuse. And that, since I've started Jiu-Jitsu, I've only missed one class, and that was last Tuesday. And I felt a bad amount of guilt when I skipped that class because the sleep deprivation caught up. I wasn't sleeping well since 2.5 weeks, and it just caught up. And I wasn't able to climb out of my bed to go to Andheri. If it was K-Town on that day, I would have come. But it was Andheri, and I was like, oh dude, I don't want to travel 1.5 hours, 4:30 in the morning. So, but I felt a very bad amount of guilt, and I promised myself I'm not going to do this again. Even if I have a broken leg, I have something which let's say I have a very bad excuse to not do Jiu-Jitsu, I must do it regardless of that. Because during the fight, no one cares. No one cares. The opponent is going to come at me with full effort to choke me out.
Yeah.
I can't say it to him like, dude, I have had 3 hours of sleep during the last 3 months, and please have some mercy on me and just let me have this match. You can choke me afterwards. Just let me have this match because I have faced these adversities. No, he doesn't care. He's going to break my arm. So yeah, that's it.
It forces you to take full accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the idea of extreme ownership that's, a lot of people just relate to it.
Extreme ownership.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that really, especially young people, like when they're trying to still fully grasp what extreme ownership is. That's, a lot of people are full adults, like they're 30 years old, but they still don't know how to exercise full ownership.
Yeah.
They will still blame
external circumstances. Yeah.
Everyone but themselves they will blame. They will blame. They don't focus on the fact that they are really lacking. They are slacking and they are complaining about the very things that they themselves have been. They are setting the narrative.
Yeah.
Something that Jiu Jitsu taught me is you can decide how to progress, how much you want to progress.
Yes. And we have seen people come and go, right? We've seen all kinds of excuses. Didn't Carl have like a huge list of excuses that day?
That day.
My knee hurts doesn't count as like a valid reason. That's an excuse that goes on the list.
He has a list.
He has a list.
I was talking about these things after our class, like we usually do. We were hanging out at the chemist, and he told me that when he was prepping for his worlds, he didn't let a single excuse slide out of his mind. Why? Because he doesn't want to react to negativity. Even if his students are making excuses, he doesn't react to it.
Yeah.
You drop him a message like you don't want to come to this class because of this reason or that reason. He doesn't react to it. Why? He doesn't want it to seep into his own subconscious. Be ruthless about it. If you want to become a champion, you have to be ruthless. You are going to lose friends because of this, and you have to be okay with it. That's the fighter's mindset. I think Jiu Jitsu helped me uncover it again. I had this mindset when I was, it was during 2018 to 2019 when I was prepping for my state championships. I had this mindset, but it got lost somewhere in this process. Now I'm feeling it again.
Nice. You got back in touch with it.
Yeah.
How have you felt about losing friends? Like, obviously you're willing to make that sacrifice in order for you to pursue what's important to you.
Yeah.
But what is the flip side of that you have also been feeling? Because you can be proud of yourself for doing something and also feel, maybe regret or something. What have you been experiencing?
As of now, I haven't lost any friends because I'm very lucky to have supportive friends in my career. Like my close circle is filled with people who are,
Rooting for you.
rooting for me. They are supportive. They have been supportive at every lose, every loss I've had in my career. Whenever I'm feeling down, they have been supporting. So I'm very lucky to have them in my life as of now. And like Animesh Bhai himself, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have come to Jiu Jitsu. Yeah. So this is an example of you be true to yourselves. Like you want to fight, people will come along.
Yeah.
If you want, yeah. But you must stay true to yourself. Like you must be courageous enough to be the person you always imagine in your mind. Like there is an ideal image of, like every person has this. They have an ideal image of themselves which they want to live, which they want to live in the future, and they fantasize about it. But it's not like you will become that person. You are that person already. So you have to take actions to be that person already, and that equates to make all the decisions, hard decisions in real lifetime, like in present. So that will be your true self, and people will come along. It's like a magnet. Right people will come and join you in the right time. So that's the thing.
So after 2018, 2019, you said you lost touch with this side of yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what caused that to happen?
I don't know. So I lost during the finals. So I lost the gold medal. Still, it was a very big moment in my life because I had never gone to any final previously before the 2019 state championships. So I was like, I put all this effort and I didn't get the gold. But it was okay. It wasn't like I lost it like very, what do you say? It was a gradual process. Because after 2019 we got COVID, and I still practiced and visualized my future, but still I think it was the fall down of competition. Like I think I didn't get more chances to compete because of COVID. For 2 years I didn't compete, and I think I lost that competitive drive, the original competitive drive which I had. And after that I lost again and again. I put more effort than I put in the year 2018 to 2019, and during that duration I put more effort than that, but I was losing again and again and again. Maybe that was the cause of it.
Oh.
I didn't lose hope. I just kept losing.
Okay, and how did you feel about that? The fact that you were still working really hard and losing, how did you mentally process it? How did you rationalize this?
I'm proud of myself for that.
For pushing through?
Yeah. I can say that I don't have any regrets, because regrets are like some actions which we do not take and we regret. If we would have taken that, the outcome would have been a bit different. But it's not like for me. I've done everything that I could have done. So I'm proud of myself for that. And I know someday all of this going to amount to a very good achievement. per se. I can say that.
You have faith that.
Yeah, I have faith. There's one thing which has helped me go through all of this is 110% believe on myself. Yeah, even if the whole world is standing against me, I can do it. That's the belief.
Your thoughts to add to this?
I mean, this is exactly, if you remember what we talked about, the time we talked about Jiu-Jitsu, it's pretty much the same impact, you know. And I feel like there's so many more people, like this is just the two of us right now. There are athletes in our vicinity, all around us, a little bit away from us. There are people that relate to this, the fighter's mentality. It's just, you know, it's not one thing. It's just like a accumulation of different qualities that people have. A lot of people, when they feel pressure, they shy away from it. Excuses come out, but when some people see pressure, when they experience pressure, they lean into it. And it's just that right now it's just the two of us sitting in a studio and just talking about these things, these ideas, and nobody really cares. And the vision that we have for us, that we already feel that we are living through it, that might be 20 years away, that might be 30 years away, that might never happen. There might, anything could happen in the time span that, you know, in the time span of us talking about this and whatever we are saying, those things happening, that big achievement coming towards you. But you have to have faith. That's the driving factor. You can't lose hope. You need to have faith. I need to understand what are you putting that faith in. Is it the friends around you that fuel you? Is it the competition that you feel that fuels you? Is it something that you cannot describe but you relate to? But you need to have faith in something. And to talk about this, there are just so many layers of corniness and so many layers of cringe that all of these conversations are covered with, that people never get into it. You know, they feel embarrassed talking about things like this. They feel like these are idealistic ideas and philosophies that have no value in this world as of right now.
Because they are limited by their own mental image, which they have drowned themselves in.
Yeah, so I would like to encourage and just, you know, urge everyone to do an audit of 1 year and just look back at things, and everyone knows how many excuses they have made, how many things they have tried to get themselves out of, just because that's the comfortable thing to do and not the uncomfortable thing to do. So because that's been me. That was me before Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu was the first time where I used to miss, when I started out I used to miss classes. If I have a migraine or if there's any kind of physical discomfort, it was a norm for me to not go to commitments that I had. I would just not do it. But when I started doing that with Jiu-Jitsu and Carl held me accountable, he didn't do too much. All he did was just not react. And that was mind-boggling for me. I was like, I have written what feels like a very good reason for me not to come. I am in pain, I am suffering, but there's just no response. There's nothing on the other end. When that happened, once I realized that this is not going to work here. And when I felt that, I didn't lean away from it. I didn't, I leaned towards it. I felt like that was an opportunity moment for me to progress. I was being called to a higher standard. And I felt like I've been trying to do that ever since. And as a result of that, my own standards, like I said the last time, my own standards have come up, they have increased. I am able to draw better boundaries around myself with the people that I, have to interact with. There are healthier boundaries, better boundaries, because overall I just feel more confident in myself. Because I feel like the toughest thing that I do every single week are those sparring rounds against people where we go through all sort of things, like the last week when I went with Elvin, I had mentally given up even before going. Yeah, because I looked at him, I was gassed, I was like, this is a massive guy, he's about to come and just pound on me. Because right before that he went with Adarsh, and I was screaming for Adarsh to just take it. I was like, Adarsh, fuck yes, you got this. So he was eyeing me from there after the round ended. So I just, that played into mind. I was like, this guy's eyeing me, he wants to just, fuck me up and smash me in this round because I was supporting my guy. And he asked me to go once and I avoided eye contact. And all of that just seeped into me, that's just self-doubt. I know I'm confident in my game, because even in that I gave him 3 points, he couldn't submit me, I had my frames, I had everything. But mentally I had given up. I was like, this guy's going to beat me. So that happens. You have days like that. You have days where you have no business winning. You are almost passing out. You're almost about to puke, overeat, and all that. And even then, you go in there and you fuck other people up. You win. You get points, and that just gives you the confidence to have this faith. Okay, fuck it. It happens in 30 years. It happens in 30 years. Who cares? We are still going to be around. And none of this could have been possible if we were not doing jiu-jitsu. Training was not enough.
Training was not
enough.
I've actually lost interest in training.
Yeah, that's that.
When I started doing jiu-jitsu, I lost interest in like regular training.
Who wants to just...
Yeah, who wants to do that? From day one when I got into this thing, I never wanted to be feel relatable to gym bros. You know, this gym bros. That's not me. Yeah. That's not. But we to some extent are like anomalies in the fitness industry. You know, if you're wearing full clothes, nobody's going to, because your average trainer, he looks different, talks about different things. They are typecasted into being trainers. But I don't think we pretty much have nothing to do with about 90% of that.
Yeah. And I think that gives the belief that the buff bodies gives them confidence. Many gym guys, many friends of mine, they have this confidence. I'm like pulling 200 kgs off the ground. I'm confident AF. Dude, you're not. I will fuck you up. That's the confidence.
And like they're not expressing strength in any other way other than with inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Like go with do the same thing with a human being.
Yes.
See how you match up.
Not just physical things. Like in normal life, they are pussy. They are just pussies. They are like mentally they're pussies. Like if you tell them to do something hard, which is not related to their physical capabilities, like maybe just sitting down and focusing on.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Nobody wants to sit down and focus.
They can't. See, what not being able to focus is one thing, and not trying to focus is one thing. Yeah. They just like shy away from it. They run away from it. I mean, dude, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, because they're not willing to lose also.
Yeah.
They're not willing to do anything that's going to bruise their ego. Like learning requires you to look like an idiot.
It does.
Lose their ego. That was the right thing. The first thing which you discover here is losing your ego in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And the thing is, all boys want to fight. It's just one of those things, you know. You hang around in circles of boys, men. All they're talking about is fucking other people up, fighting. I can fuck this guy up. I can fuck that guy up. So that's a thing that you're feeling anyway. But when you're called upon to do that, you have jiu-jitsu classes in your neighborhood now. But nobody wants to come and do that. There are like 3 gyms right around where we train. Everybody looks at us do jiu-jitsu. We train in front of an entire class that is lifting weights. They are constantly looking at us and seeing what we are doing. But nobody wants to get in there and have their egos bruised, you know, and have that idea of themselves that nobody can fuck us up. They don't want to have that taken away from them.
Yeah.
And especially by a girl.
Yeah.
Especially by a girl. Nobody wants that. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why more men are not doing jiu-jitsu. And the kind of people that you see in our classes, it's fathers, it's people that are a little older, they have shit going on in their lives, it's girls. But where are the fucking gym bros? Where are the people lifting all the weights and where are they?
Yeah.
They're just not here.
This video is going to be calling upon the gym bros to show the fuck up.
Just show the fuck up, and when you show the fuck up, good things happen. When you show the fuck up, and it's so respectable because in general, like let's say there's a group of people, right? Nobody knows who's the man in that group, who's the guy in that group. But in a jiu-jitsu class, everyone knows. You know who can fuck you up and you know who you can fuck up. There's this unsaid hierarchy, this unsaid order that everybody respects, and because of that, everybody's just so loving. It's so good. It's such a healthy atmosphere. But you hang out with a bunch of people that are hanging out with
because here we have real-time feedback.
We have real-time feedback.
Who is up in the hierarchy.
Exactly.
Like if I were to challenge Carl, I know he can fuck me up.
Exactly.
So I am going to respect him. Although I am trying to climb up to his level, which is going to take years.
Yes.
But again, I respect because he has put in the work and we know it.
Yep. And dynamics change, things happen, but that's just, you have to be willing to be in that mix and that okay, you're going to have you're going to be everywhere in the pecking order. You might go up, you will come down. But it's just being part of that group, supporting your people, helping them come up. and doing your part in there. It just creates a very healthy atmosphere that you won't find in a group of people that are maybe not doing something like this.
You develop a real sense of humility where you're okay with moving up and down. You're just open to experience.
Yes.
And you want to learn as much as you know that you can learn from someone who is also less experienced than you, because they're also being consistent. Everyone knows that at the very core, treating the craft with respect and showing up every day, doing your best. Even if you're getting fucked up, you're doing your best and you're trying.
That's the thing. So you pretty much just have to outlast everyone. You keep showing up.
Yeah.
The things that it takes to be good at Jiu-Jitsu is not technique, it's not how athletic you are and things like that. It's just you showing up again and again and showing up even when everybody else is not. That consistency through years, what do they call it? Micro consistency and macro patience.
Yeah.
So you have to be consistent in the micro and just have macro patience, that this will take however long it takes, but you just keep showing up. Then you can be whoever, you can have whatever kind of you can be endowed with any kind of physical abilities, mental abilities, however smart you are, doesn't matter. You keep showing up, that's what counts. You outlast everyone and you get good at it. You get really good at it. So it's been profound as fuck. I mean, we can do this pretty much all day long. Repeat every single thing 3 times.
Yeah.
Not just repeat, we have so many insights, like
Yes.
like why we did what we did.
And we were like this. I feel like everything that you're talking about, your persistence, your willingness to lean towards pressure and all these things, he's been like that ever since I've known him.
Yeah.
So it's not like Jiu-Jitsu turns you into something that you're not.
It just uncovers what you already have.
Yes, if you happen to find it and if you are built for it, then it's one of the best things that can happen to you in your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is for some people are for this.
Yeah. It's I would say the same. Like, I think before we started Jiu-Jitsu as well, I think we were very open to the fact that this is something that is going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And we are going to look like idiots. We're going into, the first time we went to SB, it was very scary for me because all of these people know each other. They're basically like a family, and we're in their territory. And I didn't know shit. I didn't know anything about Jiu-Jitsu at that point. I was doing it for maybe a month. I didn't know basic things because I am really slow and with being willing to put yourself in that environment and that level of discomfort and anxiety, and doing that again and again, you eventually that's how you get accepted into this community.
Yeah.
It's like very hard in the beginning, very, very hard. Like it's so scary. And then you just stay with that scariness.
And it becomes a norm for you.
Yeah, that develops a callus.
Life becomes easier.
Yeah, I think people have a misconception that what it means, like if someone says I was called upon for this, like I knew Jiu-Jitsu was always for me, they think that like it wasn't scary in the beginning for that person. Like they started it and they were like, oh, like I'm actually kind of good at this. Like in the beginning, it's just an overwhelming feeling of fuck, there's so much I don't know. I can't do anything compared to these people with my body. Like I'm not able to submit, like I don't have the basic instincts. You feel like a baby, like a helpless baby in the beginning.
Yeah. That's exactly that's everybody's journey, right? Even if you are in, like, let's say a place where you feel like you're doing great, but you go to any gym, you go with a purple belt, black belt, I mean there's just no end to people that can make you feel like a baby. Even if you're not currently, it's crazy. There's just so many people doing Jiu-Jitsu. But now it's good, that day a purple belt randomly from Singapore dropped by, they looked us up on Google. People are they are searching Google for Jiu-Jitsu classes around us. That's a real thing now. And now we are here. Now we are here to kind of give them that. People are coming in. It takes a while, like everything else, but slowly building, attracting more people like us. Hopefully, get more athletes, get more people that probably need this in their lives. But yeah.
Again, this is about, I think we must maintain our strong personality, which we have already been doing.
Yeah,
and it will attract the right people at the right time. We don't want people like who come for for that exciting feeling about starting a new thing, about starting a martial art and spreading it amongst their friend groups. Like, yeah, I'm doing a martial art, but eventually giving in, eventually just giving up. Like that guy.
Yeah.
His doctor told him what? That he doesn't, and he just gave the excuse and I don't, so I can't continue this. Fuck off. What the fuck? That's the process you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it filters out people as well, which we don't want to surround ourselves with.
It's also so cool to think about, no matter where we go in the future, what country we're in. Like, we can probably find a Jiu Jitsu gym and
we'll have
discover
to.
a whole team, and then like this is going to happen again and again. Like, I was watching some YouTuber's video, and over the course of like 6-8 years, he shifted a bunch of places, and you get to train under so many different people. You get to roll with so many different people.
And everybody has their own little tricks and things that they do. They have their games. There's just so much to pick up from everywhere else. It's amazing. It's like a language, you know.
Yeah.
You get
Different accents
and everything. It's a nice language that you can speak everywhere. But yeah, how about the fights today? I always like it when, usually for the average person, you see a person down on the bottom, you see someone else pounding from the top. You think the bottom person is probably getting fucked up, but just to be there and not get hit a lot, it takes a decent amount of jiu-jitsu. You need to have awareness about where to keep your hips, where to keep, how to position your body in a way that the person is not able to reach your face, keep them out of reach, and entangle them just enough to, all these kind of different things. That takes a lot of jiu-jitsu. For example, that first fight, the Nico Price fight versus the other guy, Morono. That fight, they were doing, at least that Morono guy was doing a lot of jiu-jitsu to just stay safe.
Especially in the first round.
Yes, a lot of people that just see a guy getting beat up, they will probably not be able to survive a single minute with Nico Price.
Yeah.
But to survive that takes a shit ton of jiu-jitsu. You have to be good with your triangles, be good with your guard. Guard retention is just so important. But yeah, I always like it when there's, high-level jiu-jitsu in sports. In the UFC, like the 300 card was just completely BJJ starting through the end, except the Holloway fight, except the last two fights.
Like Bo Nickel
and all these guys, just so many good scrambles. The guy that went with Bo Nickel in that fight, he had to do really good jiu-jitsu, otherwise Bo Nickel would have killed him in one round.
He was a D1 wrestler.
He was a D1 wrestler, he would have killed him in one round.
Exactly, this Kevin Holland fight, he got pounded. He just, went to the ground and he was about to get beaten and he just saw the opportunity and got the armbar.
Yeah.
It was the perfect armbar.
And people don't understand how tight a black belt armbar really is. We can throw pretty good armbars on the average person, but when a black belt is throwing an armbar on you, there's just you're not going to be able to slide that elbow out. Yeah. You're not going to have time to do, just turn your thumb over or anything like that. And he broke his arm, right? He broke his arm. Right. But that was a mad respectable thing to do. He waited for him to tap. He asked him, are you going to tap or no? But he just didn't want to give up. The guy didn't want to give up, so he had to break it. That's just, so sometimes, not always, but sometimes, shit breaks.
And then during the Dustin Poirier fight, if he wouldn't have known good level jiu-jitsu, maybe would have subbed out in the first round itself.
Yes. That's what happened to Dan Hooker, right? Islam Makhachev got the arm triangle on him. And usually you don't finish off the arm triangle from the mount, at least that's what we have kind of learned. We want to at least have one leg over and then sprawl, or ideally come to side mount and then sprawl. But Islam was able to do that against Dan Hooker from the mount. Yeah. And so, but he couldn't do that with Dustin, because he knows, he's aware. The arm's getting extended, there's an arm triangle coming, so he's going to slide that arm, pummel it back inside, stay safe, and he even attempted a guillotine on him.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev attempted a guillotine on Dustin, but he's an expert at guillotines. He's been doing guillotines for so long, he's a high-level black belt, got out of that easily. But there's jiu-jitsu everywhere in fights. It's just so good that we don't notice it.
Yeah. Like I was having a text conversation with my friend over these fights, And I told him that Dustin Poirier just escaped an RNC. It was very hard to escape. What's RNC? So that was me before I discovered Jiu Jitsu. I didn't know what is this. What is this? What are guillotines? What's a darts choke is? What's an ankle lock is? So I was pretty much clueless about the fights. Like I'm just watching the fights, but I'm not sure what's happening inside. I'm just watching it. Yeah, they're getting beaten. They're getting beaten. Someone's beating him, the other person.
One guy seems to be dominating.
Yeah, he's on the top. He seems like he can kick well. I think he's going to win it. But now when I have a perspective, a basic decent perspective about what is a mount, what's a closed guard. Even if the person is down, he's dominant. He can dominate. So I was explaining that to him. Yeah, RNC is like one of the basic bread and butter chokes. So he escaped that. That's a very commendable thing against a grappler. Yeah. So like you must know good jiu-jitsu to what do you say? Know what's going on in these fights.
But yeah, are you at a point where you're able to recognize like jiu-jitsu in fights?
Yeah. Before I didn't know, like I was just, it feels the same as like watching most other sports, to be honest. I don't really know what's happening until like it goes, like there's a points are scored or whatever. But now every time, like it's so ingrained in like human fighting style. Like,
yes.
That's what jiu-jitsu feels like. It's directly like intertwined with like the human limbs, like how it's like designed to move.
Yeah, we are made to squeeze people a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I read somewhere humans are meant to hug. Humans are meant to hold hands. Our hands are made like this. Ability to do this.
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
We have fingers, like these are really valid.
And that's facts, right? Like you look at birds, they are more in extension patterns. They are extending backwards, like their spines and their arms, they're all in extension patterns, right? But we are not like that.